You know, Infinity War, Endgame, incredible cast, a lot of characters, and yet you all did such an incredible job of giving each character their moment, their due. Walk me through sort of the recipe to balance all of these characters and make sure that they're acknowledged, that the storylines don't just serve the plot, but also give fans what they want when they see them on the screen.
I think the key is, you know, we love all of the characters, right? So even though we're dealing with a big ensemble, and even though there's certain characters that carry the heart of the story or sort of the main lines of the story, we tend to have a creative process where we think about the entire movie from each character's point of view and just walk through the film as if the entire movie belonged to that character. And I think that's how we find sort of the greatest possibilities in terms of what those characters can be, how they can intersect with the story, how they can challenge the other characters in the film. But I think that's part of the great fun of the creative process, is really seeing the movie through all these characters' eyes.
But also you have to trust the actors that they're going to take care of their characters. They're going to bring to the process their love of the character as well, and tell us moments we may be missing or nuances that are missing. And it's for as large as these movies are, it's a very organic, living process. It's constantly shifting and changing. We're rewriting constantly because something's changing every day. There's a new idea coming. There's a new group of actors who just showed up on set. Now we have to respond to them. Oh my God, that's a great idea. Let's carry this through the script now.
Well, which is really a gift and what the brothers do so well. I mean, there are days where there are 30, 35 actors on set.
Wow.
Some of whom have been playing these characters for decades, some of whom have just been playing them for a year or so. And they both make them feel so comfortable that they can begin to further develop the character.
Kevin, you mentioned Secret Wars. I know it's way down the line and you can't give too much away, but how do these two films relate?
People familiar with the comic stories see that they will relate, but I will say this, they relate in a very different way than Infinity War and Endgame. I think people are expecting a similar connection, and while one certainly does lead into the other, it's in a very different way, and I will say that Secret Wars is as ambitious a project as we've ever embarked on.
Kevin, I want to tee this one off with you. Robert Downey Jr., he's back. Fans are thrilled. How long was it to make that happen? What were the conversations like around bringing Robert into the fold for this one?
Obviously, there's nobody we're closer with than Robert. So ever since Endgame, we would see each other quite a lot. And it was unspoken for a long time of, you know, what could we do and how could we do it? And years went by, and we started thinking of this way to do it. And it was, I want to say, early 2023 that we started saying maybe we actually think this could really work. And then I went to his abode and pitched him this idea.
Did you?
Yes. And he was very excited about it.
He's not the only one back. Chris Evans, Captain America. Talk to us a little bit about, and this is out to all three of you, about bringing him back into the fold. Folks were really excited to see him in one of those trailers.
Listen, that was a character that we spent a lot of time with over the years. We're very close with Chris. We're obviously very close with Marvel. It just felt to us like the correct way for us to come back would be to continue the story of that character, to work with Robert again, and to move the story forward. And that was really the thing that I think excited all of us, was we found a path forward that really was integral, really required both Chris and Robert for the story to be told.
X-Men specifically, it feels like a full circle moment for you, having worked on those X-Men films all those years ago. What does it mean to have them sort of integrated into the Avengers world in this?
Well, look, I think for fans, the notion of having the Avengers and X-Men together for the first time within our cinematic universe is incredibly exciting. It's been something that has been a long time coming. Yeah. For me personally, my career started in 1998 on that first X-Men film. No spoilers, but there might be some sets.
Or spoilers.
Some sets that you recognize. Some sets that you recognize from those original films, and being on those sets 26 years later with my now 12-year-old son was pretty emotional. And getting to, I had a taste of it on Deadpool and Wolverine, and getting to work with Hugh again and putting him in a comic accurate costume. That's another thing that is so exciting. Bringing them into our world is getting to to frankly do justice to that comic style.
Yeah.
And seeing how excited Hugh was on Deadpool and Wolverine, how excited all of the actors, and in particular Jimmy Marsden as Cyclops, being in a comic accurate costume, and the way these guys direct the action with the with his powers is a sight to behold.